The Streaming Wars have! Howdy there, friends, family, and adversaries. January was that time of year where nothing really good came out. In fact, movies that came out during that time were kind of pretty shitty. And yes, I know that you love it when I rip a movie to shreds, but, you know, I'm not gonna waste my time watching The fucking Turning. Cut me some slack. So instead, January has been a bit of a catch-up month for me, so I'm just getting caught up on some new shows and movies that I had missed in December. And one of those shows was The Witcher, which I liked quite a bit. So with that, here's my review. Faith isn't meant for the cynical. Folks harboring realistic views perceive life as a chaotic mess with no rhyme or reason. There's no master plan aside from the three basic steps of we're born, we live, and we die. In the interim, the world we exist in is defined by cruelty and a lack of fairness. If we trust our five senses alone, the existence of divinity can be disproven. And from this angle, it's easy to understand why some people don't believe in a higher being. But from this angle, I'm upside down. Geralt of Rivia is one of these people. As the main protagonist of The Witcher, Netflix's good new dark fantasy series adapted from the novels by Andrzej Sapkowski that were popularized by the CD Projekt Red video games, Geralt views his medieval world of kings, peasants, forests, and tundras with an unconvinced glare and an understandable sense of disbelief. After all, he's a witcher, a monster hunter imbued with supernatural abilities and skills, as well as gorgeous flowing locks of white hair and some chiseled abs. Geralt has seen and battled terrors that most farmers and nobles can't fathom, and those numerous encounters with beasts and enemies have left him emotionally scarred. Even when presented with the possibility of divine intervention, his brooding demeanor and disdainful groans remain undeterred. Geralt is a man without hope, though consequently he is pretty metal. Ironically, The Witcher's thematic core revolves around maintaining hope in a miserable, bloody world. For Geralt, however, maintaining hope and faith is easier said than done, seeing as The Witcher places him amid many moral dilemmas. All 8 episodes act as mostly self-contained adventures meant to build Geralt's character and the fantastical world that he dwells in. In fact, from the very first episode, The Witcher cements Geralt as a badass while also establishing a very dark tone. In the very first episode, Geralt slays a gang of human enemies single-handedly in order to accomplish an objective. No spoilers, though. But at the end of this carnage, he is left with a ponderous question. Did he make the correct choice? Was killing all these people worth it? The Witcher wisely doesn't answer these questions and lets the audience ponder them instead. Indeed, do the ends justify the means? The Witcher contains 2 other prominent characters that complement Geralt's grim adventures. My favorite of these characters is Yennefer, a disfigured mage in training. Due to her hunchback, Yennefer experiences ridicule and personal setbacks, making her an easy character to sympathize with in The Witcher's brutal world. While she often uses her power for personal gain and to commit mischief, Yennefer lives with deep emotional pain. She's very dissatisfied with her life, and as a result, she lashes out using her discontent soul to channel chaotic magic. She's undeniably selfish, but her reasons are understandable. Personally, I love her. She be fierce. The second of these characters is Ciri, a young princess fleeing her home after it was conquered by the rival forces of Nilfgaard. As a character, Ciri adds a layer of innocence to this dark show. Even though she grew up rich and ignorant of the world's suffering, she doesn't deserve the mistreatment she receives. Ciri is a pure good person in a world that rewards the wicked and the vile, and her character injects the show with a sense of right and wrong that many other characters don't possess. In essence, she is the heart of The Witcher. Yennefer and Ciri interact with Geralt's exploits in a way that chucks Geralt's disdain of destiny back in his face. In terms of Yennefer, she's a romantic partner and somewhat potential adversary for Geralt. Whether it's fate or random circumstance, the two keep bumping into each other, both personally and sexually. Rawr. The lovers and part-time enemies are meant for each other. The two are inextricably linked, sometimes by Geralt's cock. Ciri and Geralt have an entirely different connection. After her home was taken by Nilfgaard, Ciri's objective is to find Geralt, her legal guardian and protector due to the whims of fate and an accidental legal loophole. Even though Geralt despises the very notion of a higher power pulling the strings, the innocent and hopeful Ciri yearns to find him so that she can reclaim a sense of personal normalcy and safety, a new family that can replace the one she lost. Against all odds, Geralt Geralt is ironically the living embodiment of Ciri's hope. And as stated earlier, hope is The Witcher's main theme. Despite how The Witcher operates in a realm run by greed, war, murder, genocide, and racism, the series posits that hope can always survive. Even in dark, cold, unforgiving, and unfair times, there are brighter days that can offset the onslaught of suffering. All one has to do is reach out and grasp the rays of hope as if it were a lifeline. It's a poignant message that's true for the lost Ciri, the morally compromised Yennefer, and even the jaded Witcher Geralt. Though he would never admit it. The Witcher admittedly isn't perfect. The show contains an odd editing structure that makes determining a timeline of events difficult, and even though Geralt's, Yennefer's, and Ciri's story are spliced side by side, the scenes take place at different times in the world and narrative. I won't deny, I was thrown off for a little bit. Additionally, The Witcher's final episode of the season ends on a brutal cliffhanger. Numerous plot threads and character arcs remain hair-pullingly unresolved, and while this isn't a deal-breaker by any means, the ending was indeed frustrating. With that being said, the obtuse ending and the odd editing structure actually complement The Witcher's hopeful themes. In Season 2, we'll likely get some answers and closure by the plot lines left open by the finale. Season 1 introduced audiences to great characters in a cool yet brutal fantasy landscape, all while teasing a bigger story for Season 2. Like Geralt, we all just have to have a little bit of faith. Hey y'all, thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment. And for my high-tier patrons, Slasher of Vales, Mom, and Miles Nelson, I just want to give you a very special thank you for supporting for what I do. So thank you. Thank you so much.